And it might be more to the lateral, the outside, or it might be more to the inside. You're just trying to hunt it down. So right now I'm up into my gastroc, part of my calf. Okay, and then we're going to switch to the other one. Other leg now, and I want to feel what the tension is. You might have more or less tension in one leg than the other, and you'll understand you probably might have better movement or better balance on one side. This will help balance all of that out. So I feel some tension there, lots of tension. Really feel it when I point. Also feel some tension to arch my foot. So this will help release a lot of tension. And again, restore proper movement. That's what we're trying to do. If we restore proper movement, then we move intelligently. Moving for the sake of moving doesn't help unless you're doing it biomechanically correctly. Otherwise, a lot of times people put more pressure on their joints. The more you do this foam rolling, the less pressure you put on your joints and the more you move biomechanically correctly, which is what we want you to do. Good. Find some good tension there. Oh yeah, there is some tension there. I have definitely more tension in my right than my left. Once I'm on it, I'm really pointing. Try flexing and pointing. See if one feels more intense, one feels less intense, and how it affects your movement. Good. So after we release that, then we're going to start moving up our body. I'm going to swing the mat around here so you can see me. And I'm going to go onto my IT band, normally the tightest part in everybody's body. I'm going to start off here. If this is too intense, you can bring another foot over here. It takes weight off of here. Now as you start here, I'm just above my knee. I never roll over a joint. I want to be just on the muscle. Now the roller you notice isn't moving. I am. I'm just moving over, trying to find where the tension is. There's a good spot there. Once it lets go, I'm going to walk myself along here. So we're secretly sneaking in some core work here. Now I feel a little bit more tension there. Sometimes I feel it more as I roll. You see how slowly I'm moving? I'm really trying to pinpoint the spot. That's absolutely critical. Now some of these spots might take a while to release. That's normal. But the more you do this, the better your body's going to move. And whatever time in your life that you thought you moved the best, you will be able to do it, and actually better. I guarantee that, because it all comes down to mechanics. The smarter we move, the better we move. So releasing as much tension as I can there. And now I'm going to get up into my hip flexors, also known as your TFL, the tensor fasciae latae, kind of the top of your quads. These get really tight because a lot of people have sedentary lives, or they have a desk job, or they're in school all day, whatever it is. So this gets really tight. That's another reason that prevents the hips from going back the way they should. I can also roll onto my glute here, see if I can feel any tension. Good. Now we'll go ahead and transition to the other side. Now, you don't have to go at the pace I'm going. Maybe it's too intense for you to hang out at all. So just spend a little time there as much as you can. Try and breathe. The more you relax your breathing, the more effective this becomes. So we want to use yogic breathing, Pilates breathing, gyrotonic breathing, whatever method you want to use that's effective for releasing tension. That's what we really want to use here. That's critical. And again, I'm hunting for the spots, seeing if I feel any. I got a good one right there. I'm going to let that release. You can do little movements too, where you see the way I'm bending my leg here. That also helps me understand where is the most tension. What part of the bend do I feel it? Another way to release tension. So I'm just showing you some variations of things you can do. Again, as you do this more and more, the first time you do this, usually it's hard. Not only will you work your core, but you might feel a lot of discomfort. That's just your muscles. Your muscles are essentially upset at the fact that you're trying to rebalance them. They've gotten into their own cycle, but that cycle usually is what's contributed to some joint pain or joint discomfort. And it's also limited range of motion. So to get back the range of motion we need, this is essential. It doesn't matter, people say, well, I do yoga, do whatever. What we're trying to do is balance out the muscular structure so that it fires properly. No amount of stretching will get the body to fire in the right sequence. This is what's going to get the body to fire in the right sequence. So what I'm doing right now is flexibility training. This is the ultimate flexibility training. As you can see, I'm moving and I'm bending my knee here to get back that range of motion, to figure out where the most tension is. And I'm keep moving up. I'm hunting for spots. I might be on my side. You'll notice on my side, and the roller doesn't move, but I do. Searching, wherever it's most intense. And then I get up towards the top of the quad. Yeah, there's that TFL area we talked about, around that hip flexor area. Very tight area there. You'll be amazed how much easier it is to get your hips back. Good. Once we release that, we're going to go up into our glute. This is one of the many ways to get into your glutes. Try and release it there. Good. Now we're going to go for our adductors and our quads. And we want to get ourselves, it's like a breaststroke position, froggy position, where I'm splayed out here, and I'm all the way on the inside of my leg. On my forearms here. And then you'll notice I start coming on top of my leg. The roller doesn't move, I do. So these are key points to release, especially if you have knee issues. This is usually, a lot of times you might feel this referring to your knee. That's a good sign. That means you're finding the source of your knee discomfort is all the tension in the muscle is pulling on it. So we want to figure out where all the tension is. You want the roller ideally perpendicular to your leg. So I feel some right there. And you notice I bend at my knee here to help release that. Once that lets go, I go up a little bit more. And you're going to hit some other loads. You're going to hit some really intense spots. And maybe you won't be able to hang out there. That's okay. You'll come back another day. Remember, as you do this on a regular basis, this will make you move better than you ever have. I guarantee it. Phenomenal for you. You might be one of those rare people that don't have any tension. All you need to do is get a firmer roller. So I'm working out the tension here, coming all the way up. So wherever it happens to be, all the way up to my groin. Then I'm going to move to my other leg. You'll notice people that if their knees collapse in when they go to squat or do a leg movement, those muscles are working way too hard and other muscles aren't working hard enough. That's why it's pulling you out of alignment. Same thing when we did our calves. If you notice when you squatted that your feet tended to splay out, your toes, or sometimes in, that's directly related to what's going on in your calf muscles, your soleus and your gastroc. So again, I'm on a good one here. As soon as I find that tight spot, I'm going to bend the knee to get back that full range of motion. You'll feel it someplace like right there. Wow, that's where it is. Not fully extended, I feel it more there. So that's where my movement's being restricted. I'm just eliminating those restrictions. Oh, all the way inside here of my leg, and then I'm going to slowly roll onto my quad. Notice the roller isn't moving right now. I'm just moving. I'm just trying to find the spot. Then I go all the way to the inside again, come up a little bit more. You see how gradually I'm doing this. I'm just trying to hunt down the spots. You might not have much time. As long as you can spend a little time foam rolling every day, you will heal. This is the ultimate in healing your body in a non-invasive way. Good, and we released all that tension there. Oh, I found another good spot there. Who knows, one side might feel more than the other. Spend a little bit more time there, that's critical. Get it to release, because you're gonna notice a huge difference in your movement. Okay, and then we're gonna move to the upper body. You can literally foam roll everything. We're gonna start on our triceps. So just above the elbow, and I'm gonna see if there's any tension there. Find a good one right there. I'm going to settle into it. Initially, a lot of times it won't be as intense until we relax into it. Then we'll get deeper into the muscle. And then when I have that released, notice when I move my arm like this, I feel more tension. Helping to let go of it. Move up a little bit more. Oh yeah, found a good one there. You're going to love this. You might hate me too, because it's going to feel intense. But again, we're trying to change the paradigm. It's not about if you feel muscular discomfort that you just take something to cover it up. Let's figure out the source of it. We're getting to the source of your issues to get you out of pain, to get you moving well. And then we eliminate all the excuses for why we're not moving. And then as I get into my armpit here, I get on my lat muscle and my pec muscle. Find out where it's most intense. This will help release your shoulders. Those are the main pullers on our shoulders. And trying to find wherever the most tender spots are. You might be very tender here, might be here. For women, you can adjust the roller this way so that it's not in the way here. And this way I can also roll out into my bicep and release that. So I can get all that area in there. And then I can also get into my lat this way. So if you need to adjust something that fits better for you, by all means do it. There's no exact way, this is how you do it. I'm just giving you some guidelines so you can get the most results out of what you're doing. The main thing is finding the tension. And you notice I'm not on the elbow. Never directly on the elbow. I'm always on the muscle. So this one isn't as tense as the other one. Oh, I found a good spot here. Notice as I bend my elbow, I'm feeling more tension, but this is restoring the optimal movement. And that's what we want, optimal function. That's what we're looking for in our body. So I'm creeping myself up here. Oh yeah, I found a good spot there. Laying back. Yeah, I found a really good spot there. Working in my shoulder region there. And my lats where everything connects. And then I'm coming to my pec. Not as much there, I definitely felt more there. I'm going to scoot myself a little bit along. Trying to find the tension. Men, you can keep the roller this way. And then for women, turn it so it's more parallel to your body. So you can go in and see if you can find that spot. This is actually really good for men too. And notice just by turning my hand here, I can find different spots. Especially as I go more onto my bicep, I can hit the different heads of the bicep just the way I hit the different heads of the tricep. So I can kind of go bicep to tricep here. Another good way to release that tension. And the last one is we're going to address your back. So we're going to put the roller about mid-back. I'm going to walk myself along. If you need to support your head, by all means do it. A lot of times you can give yourself a little chiropractic adjustment. See if you can find that spot. Get it to release. This feels awesome. After doing everything else, this will feel like a huge reward. And that's why I recommend a full-length roller, because it makes a huge difference. Now I'm going to support my tailbone. Lie back so my head is supported. I'm going to tip my tailbone under, so I'm going to press my low back against the roller as much as I can. So I'm really pulling my abdominals in like crazy. My neck is relaxed, my chin is tucked, and I'm going to get into a cactus position here. Notice I'm not driving my elbows this way or my hands like this. Ideally, I want my forearm parallel to the ground. Now I'm going to keep my low back pressed in, and I'm going to gradually try and get lower and lower. Some of you might be a lot closer to the ground than I am. I have some tightness here. This is one of my spots, so I'm gradually trying to move it. Now the tendency is, if I look on my low backs, look, everything goes right down. I want to keep my low back pressed in the whole time. So I'm opening up my thoracic, the mid to upper back, and I'm stabilizing my lumbar, the low back. And that's what we want to think about in all our exercises that we do. We're stabilizing in our lumbar, and we want the movement to come from middle to upper back in our thoracic area. And we want to be stable in our cervical, which is our neck. Now I'm getting really things to open up here, and I can move a little bit here. Really starting to open up. You'll feel an amazing chest stretch. You'll feel all those muscles around your spine start to relax, especially in that upper back. Tremendous exercise. All right, now we're ready to work out.